Fantastic Friday. It's your boy Hawk here with a little hoops talking Squawk. And this match, here we go again with the shit show of the Philadelphia 76ers. Now you have James Harden, aka Brick Ross, aka Mongo Slade. For those that don't know, that's Bill Cosby's character from the classic 1975 movie, Let's Do It Again. I gotta give a shout out to Too Raw for Sports, because he be spot on with the Mongo Slade impersonations and characterizing James Harden as that character. But yeah, Mongo Slade, James Harden strikes again with his recent message about time to get uncomfortable. And we've all seen the pictures of dude picking up weight. So if the 76ers don't trade this choke artist soon, first of all, you can't have this dude on a roster when training camp comes around. Because he's going to come at 50 pounds overweight, disgruntled, bringing that negative energy that's going to translate to the rest of the team. And you don't need the team, especially the younger players, being around that nonsense. I know Daryl Morey's trying to get equal value on a trade, but nah, you have to get the best package you could get for him now. Because if you watch Nick Nurse's introductory press conference, you could sense right there that he doesn't even want to coach Harden. He complimented him, calling him a great player, whatever, but you could tell that he doesn't want Harden on the roster. You know what I mean? All that ISO crap, dribbling, wasted 10, 20, 15, 20 seconds off the clock. Like, nah, can't have that. You know, you're not going to get equal value. You got to get the best package you can and end this shit show. Here we go, another summer or another off season with more nonsense. 2 years ago was the whole Ben Simmons fiasco. You know what I mean? Everybody thought we won the trade when we traded Ben Simmons for James Harden. Nah, we lost that trade, just like the Sixers lose every other trade they ever make. Sixers ain't never won a trade, ever. They always wind up giving up too much. You know what I mean? They had to part ways with Seth Curry and Andre Drummond as well. Drummond was the best big backup center we've had during the Embiid era. Great rebounder. You know what I mean? Seth Curry's one of the best shooters we've had. You know what I mean? In the past, however many years. Give him up. All for another choke artist. And cats would be like, well, he led the league in assists. Man, listen, we want to win. We want a championship. Finals appearances. Playoff success. You know what I mean? Y'all can miss me with them regular season awards. MVP, scoring titles, assist titles is cool and all, yeah. It helps the player's resume and his legacy. But we as fans want way more than that. Y'all can keep those regular season accolades, those 50-win regular seasons, and first round championships. We want actual championships. You know what I mean? Let's start with making it to the Eastern Conference Finals. Finally getting out of the second round for the first time in 22 years. then winning the franchise's first championship in 40 years. Like that's a great start. Harden, man, that performance in Game 7 against Boston, 9 points. Come on, man, that's a disgrace. That's a travesty, but those that know basketball know Harden's always been a choke artist. He's always been a selfish, me first type of player who would rather have the money and the fame over championships. I've been watching this guy closely since his Houston Rocket days, when he choked in 2017, Game 6 at home against the Spurs, a chance to even the series and force a Game 7 in San Antonio. He choked. 2018, Game 7 at home against the Warriors. He choked. You know what I mean? Then again, this year against Boston, down the stretch of Game 6 and that awful Game 7, choked. Same shit last year against Miami in the second round, choked. Every year. Get this guy out of here. And I have to say this, the shit that this organization goes through with the players is a direct result of the whack dynamics. Then I have a whole video that'll be surrounding the whack dynamics of this franchise going back 6 or 7 decades. But that's another topic for later. But in the meantime, all this nonsense that this organization goes through is karma. Punishment from the basketball gods and Hoops Heaven for trying to cheat the system and rip off the fans with this whole process nonsense. You know what I mean? What is the process produce? Produce. The process has produced, yeah, you get an MVP and Embiid, but he's injury prone, he's a choke artist, but the team has still yet to advance past the second round. The Iguodala-led Sixers accomplished that, getting to the second round. So this whole, and I know that the whole purpose of the process was to start over and kind of right the wrongs of past failures from previous management, but it was still other ways you could have went with that. And I get Sam Hinkie not being able to finish what he started. I get that because I do feel that he was forced out and that they brought the league brought the Colangelos in to sabotage what Hinkie was trying to do. But either way, all of that just wasn't the way to go. You know? But what do I know? I'm not a GM. I'm just a hoops enthusiast here talking and squawking on social media. Hey, but whatever, the process hasn't produced shit. And now here we go with another off season following a disappointing end to a promising regular season. Well, what should have been a promising season with more nonsense from this organization. James Harden's already putting on weight. You know, already throwing subliminal shots. Talking about it's time to get uncomfortable. We all know what that means because we seen him do it in Houston when he showed up to training camp in 2020. Then like 50 pounds overweight. Like the guy wants out, give him what he wants. It's a players' league. So management trying to play hardball it's not going to do nothing but make the situation worse. Trade him for the best package out there. Now, initially, before all this nonsense started, I was okay with them running it back with the same team under a new head coach, for the simple fact that next year Harden and Harris will both be coming off the books, so they would have mad money to play with. So until all this bullshit, I was cool with them running it back. You know what I mean? Maybe adding a couple of bench pieces, but nah, get Harden out of here. And you know what I mean? Throw PJ Tucker in there and take him with him. It's time to start over. Well, it's time to move on from the James Harden madness. You know what I mean? I wanted Halliburton anyway. That's who most wanted. But you know, Morey was going to trade for his buddy, then wound up getting fleeced because you gave up Seth Curry and Andre Drummond along with Ben, plus a bunch of draft picks. Like I said, the Sixers don't never win a trade. When I think of it, every trade that they ever made, they've always gave up too much. So it didn't surprise me that they gave up that much for Harden. And you know, Sixer homers was all in their feelings when the sports quacks were saying the Sixers was fleeced. You know, the fact that Ben did the same thing to the Nets that he did to the Sixers kind of hushed their tones a little bit, and those the Sixers with fleece talks quiet down. But nah, Sixers still gave up too much. You know, so I don't know, hopefully something happens soon. We're still about a little over 2 months away before the start of training camp. So they need to do something now. You know, I mean, I keep hearing the Clippers a possible destination, and I seen them throw a bunch of names out there. Marcus Morris, a Philly guy, always wanted one of the Morris brothers to play for the Sixers. Talking about former Sixer Robert Covington, Terrence Mann. It was a couple other players. Listen, I'm not a GM. All I know is the Sixers need to do something, and soon. Like, you don't want Harden coming in the camp, because I wouldn't be surprised if they did that, like, and traded him during the season. But what's the point? Like, man, this team is enough of a laughing stock. You know what I mean? The jokes will just get worse and worse if you bring him in the training camp. And shit, who's to say he would even report the training camp? That's why I say you need to cut ties with this clown now. Definitely. I mean, yeah, he came in, he got his little assist title, but all for what? The choke like that in the second round against Boston? Come on. Gotta do something, and something soon. You know what I mean? You could sense that the love affair between James Harden and Daryl Morey ain't what it once was. So everybody keep praising Morey they keep praising him for being this great GM. Well, GM. Like, get your boy toy out of here. Like I said, you throw PJ Tucker in that deal too. And get the best package you could get. You know what I mean? I'm optimistic about the new coach, but like I say, he doesn't want to coach Harden, and Harden doesn't want to be here. So do what's best for both parties. And we as the fans deserve a lot better than this. But anyway, this is a little Hoops Talking Squawk with your boy Hawk. Hawk out.